Hi, I'm Nilfu. A very good Wednesday morning. I'm on YouTube on healthcare industry. If you like the video, you please subscribe, like, and share. So today I'm going to talk about the healthcare of the development of the healthcare, especially during this COVID lockdown, especially to a few countries, and also we are still in the midst of uh, to going through all these challenges that every day we have seen so many news about how it affects the economics activities. So we see the close down of shops, and even we see some industry like the tourism industry really in the dilemma, and we have a retrenchment here and there, like in US is almost 40 million, and in elsewhere in all those countries that people are talking about 20 to 30% of salary reduction, or even some major retrenchment of all the MNC across the country. And today also, from the news that the former NBA legend Patrick Ewing just recovered from the COVID disease, COVID treatment, and really, such a hero. When you are facing with the disease that, of course, uh, uh, the healthcare have to render the help, to recover from a patient, and also from Sammo Hong. In Asia, one of the film star that used to be a kung fu master, and also getting some name in Hollywood movie. Used to be a good kung fu fighter in a way, but he also, just lost some weight because of his knee problem. That at the age of 69, so all these heroes in our lifetime that always perceive that they are great, but now with the aging, you have to face all of it. And also yesterday we have the latest news from Macau, the Macau casino Mogul, Stanley just passed away with 98 years old age. That such a billionaire, and when he was young, that the news has reported that when he was young he was a boxer. Also during the Bruce Lee time, that he was so healthy and so young and so good looking. But when come to a time with age that we have to face it, face with all our health challenge. So that's why even with today with this COVID, that really make us think about that. And also we listen to so many news every day, that you like it or not, but in a way, with the everyday the news report, that we try to learn about health, about disease, about epidemic, and also then we start to care about the healthcare industry. So comparatively, with this health industry, I think it is the only one that really have all the opportunities, business opportunities. We don't hear about retrenchment. Or you don't have a problem with this industrial in this industry, or the company from this industry, healthcare company, rather that they are going for expansion. Beside e-commerce, all the e-commerce like Amazon, they try to recruit more staff, to help with such a boom during this COVID lockdown, that people are buying online. And next is about digitalization, and of course is the health care industry. So with the reports of WHO, World Health Organization, that there's a statistic saying that in the globe, or the whole world, that 95% of the human beings are not healthy. 95% of us would say that it's not healthy. How could it be? It means basically everybody is not healthy. So the breakdown is such that those that really with the sickness, heavy sickness, is 20%. 20% of the human being that could be bedridden, or could be having some surgery, that they are under serious treatment. So the next one is a sub-health category. Sub-health category means that contribute to 75% of the human being. which means that somehow or other the health has came down, that affect by high cholesterol, hypertension, or diabetics, and all these, or heart disease, all kind of these small disease that does start to affect the health of a person. So that is contribute to 75%. So the real healthy people, very healthy people, only 5%, which means that 95% of us that we have to use some kind of treatment, we have to use some kind of vitamins, some kind of services from the healthcare industry in order to keep our life going. So this is the statistic that has developed by WHO. And with that also, it could be a few reasons that, from that I have done some analysis. It could be because of, the hype of our human population from 7 billion to become 9.5 billion now in the world. Just within many years ago, when I have some sharing of all this population, human population increase, there was, I think, many years ago that maybe 5-7 years ago, that there was a 7 billion, and then now it's become 9.5 billion. What a jump! And with all this, also with the urbanization and also globalization, under the globalization trend, and people move to big cities like in New York, in Kuala Lumpur, in Tokyo, in Hong Kong, in London. So everybody try to come to the big city center for the living, for the living, or for jobs, or for business opportunities. Everybody just flock into the big cities. Then we are staying so near to each other. We are staying in the high rise. So when we come to the breathing space, that become narrow. That's why some of the disease, like the flu, it becomes so common, from SARS back in 2003, H1N1, all kind of H1N1, and all kind of flus that we have developed. So because in our breathing system that have become very close to each other, is easy to spread, and that's why we need all these healthcare to taking care of all these development. And also could be the processed food, and food crisis, processed food, which a lot of additive in there, and also could be because of environment pollution, and which affected our water, the consumption of the water, and also the medical wrong usage, things like that. Of course, you have more and more factors on that. So these are the few examples that we could think of. And basically for the healthcare consumption, that each of us per capacity, or per capita, I would say, would be 1,800 USD, or 1,800 USD per year per person that you're going to spend with these medical or healthcare products, services, and things like that, which is about contribute to at least 10% of our yearly consumption, or our yearly income, right? So is even increase year by year. So basically, a lot of healthcare could comprise with many services, to maintain the health, to repair the health, and also to increase the immunity of the body, towards those diseases. And also in terms of the services like massage, physiotherapy, and things like that, and also the information on, to gather the information of the diseases, how we diagnose with that, and also find out the solution, the medical solution. So these are the things that in the healthcare industry that it can be categorized. And also in terms of maybe medicine, those that nutrition, vitamins, and also some equipments, surgery equipments, and also in terms of the leisure service, mental service, consultation of physiotherapy, and also psychology part. So these are the things that is already in the healthcare industry, that that they are interrelated, that is quite wide and deep. Either is a vertical or horizontal development of these healthcare products, healthcare services. That so that's why I try to share with this, that many industry that have been suffering with all these COVID disease breakdown, that really affecting the companies. That healthcare industry, I think that this will be the evergreen industry, that if you know how to categorize ourselves, go into the segmentation of the industry, that we may want to look beyond of our existing business model by getting into healthcare industry. Even these two months, that those that with the surgical glove, with the mask, and anything the PPE clothing, that anything to do with the healthcare products, that the IPO counter has been booming, and the funders, the investor have rushed into it, and to buy the shares of the IPO counters. So they have been a good sign. But of course now, used to be undervalued, now become overvalued. That even there is a mass inquiry from US to Malaysia, that I have facilitated the inquiries. Apparently one of the biggest healthcare products in the world in Malaysia, that they say, hey Neil, yeah, good for the inquiry, but our production capacity have been taken up for next 12 months. So your friends, your customer got to wait for at least 12 to 15 months in order for us to deliver to him, if he can wait. So see, so this is a healthcare product. Of course, we can say that it's a short term, but in long term, I would say that with all these diseases come and go because of our globalization. We have more interaction of the human being. All these disease problem that will still come and haunt us from time to time. And also one of the dynamic of the healthcare development, maybe because, as I said, globalization, urbanization, and also aging, the population is aging, and also the population aging make our life that extended. So of course we need more days and more time, more years to take care of our health in order to keep it going. And also, of course, we are talking about the environment, the weather change that have really changed our health condition. And also, of course, now with the latest technology development like 5G, AI, that is easy to learn more of the disease, preventive, and this will become a new era, a new segmentation of the healthcare industry. AI healthcare, just like they can study and do a lot of deep learning of all the diseases even more precisely, and also to give the solution much faster, right? So this will be the part of the dynamics of the healthcare industry. So let us talk about the Southeast Asia country, that how do they see about the healthcare economy or healthcare industry. And of course very much driven by the more advanced economic countries or economic development countries in Southeast Asia, like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and in Indonesia. Of course, Singapore has been the leaders of the healthcare industry in Southeast Asia, and now with his new positioning, he is the Asia Pacific Asia Pacific leader of the healthcare industry. Of course, they have been enjoying the prestige and then the good name, and also the high-paid healthcare services. So the next is Thailand. Thailand also try to become a medical hub of Asia, that they try to provide all kinds of services from dental to surgery, and all these services that good value, and so or cheaper fees. Well, of course, Malaysia come in between, that they are serving the people around, like Indonesia patient, because relatively Indonesia, the healthcare industry was not so prosperous or not so developed. So those high income earner, they tends to come to Singapore. The middle income earner, they come to Malaysia. In terms of the fees is more affordable, and in terms of the distance, just need a 2 hours flight from Jakarta, easy to fly in to Singapore, to Malaysia. And of course in Malaysia and Singapore, that we do speak a Bahasa Malaysia. They're quite similar to Bahasa Indonesia. At least there are some common communication between Singapore and the Malaysia hospital service with the Indonesian, because as known in Singapore, Indonesia has a very big population in ASEAN or Southeast Asia. So those that they need healthcare services, they come to Singapore and Malaysia with Bahasa Malaysia and Bahasa Indonesia interaction, and also some of the Chinese dialect like Hokkien or so-called Fujian, that they can have a common interaction. So if for the Indonesia to come to Thailand, I think it's harder because in terms of the language, because mostly Thai, they speak Thai. Of course, they speak some simple English, but in terms of the choice, of course, Singapore and Malaysia is always the first and second choice of Indonesia. Of course, Thailand has done a good job. They are famous because there are so many foreigners residing in Thailand, in terms of expatriate, in terms of retirees, in terms of travelers, that one of the most happening country in Southeast Asia is Thailand. So of course Thailand has been providing a good service of their healthcare industry. Of course, talking about Indonesia themselves, they try to go to digital healthcare. So this is how they try to encourage their new startup to get into this area. And come back to about Malaysia try to positioning themselves as the healthcare information center, or healthcare information hub of Southeast Asia. So these are the things that have been developed in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, and of course in China, in Taiwan, even in Hong Kong. So they have an excellent healthcare industry development, right? So these we are talking about very much on the forefront, to serve the people in terms of recovery. Of course, those that with the manufacturing of the equipments, of course, come from Europe, come from US. A lot of R&D has come from that, and many countries have declared that they have the vaccine for the COVID that being tested on the human body, that everybody are rushing, who to come first in the market, first would become very positive to their IPO counters. Next will be good for the business development. So everybody is rushing. There's good competition. We hope that by next half a year that we can see the vaccine really can cure or prevent the COVID things. Then we can go back fully to our normal life, our economic life, so that we can move on again. But of course, even with the vaccine come out, with this round of the human challenge in 100 years since the last pandemic back in 100 years ago, I think it's really make us to think about that. Health is important to us, and healthcare industry is a great opportunity to serve to our needs. All right, so I think that's about it for this video. If you like it, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. I will see you in the next video for the next topic, even more specific about healthcare industry that become very interesting, and also it would help us to increase our knowledge on that, and let's be healthy. Thank you. Bye bye.